This is your man John Fortune, your host of the Frustrated Fan Sports Show, and today is the Washington Commanders preview show where I talk about the things that need to happen in this upcoming game against Atlanta that's happening at the Fed Trap. I might start, instead of calling it the Fed Trap, I might call it the Dragnet. You know, something that, you know, it gathers things in, and then all of a sudden it just takes, you know, you act at that point, you drag them in, and then it just take things from them. So, again, this is going to be a huge game on Sunday because Sunday night, because this will have a lot of our playoff implications involved in it. Like I told y'all before, when the Commanders started to really win, I said it was going to take at least 12 games, 11 to 12 games to actually make the playoffs at this point, and we're seeing it more and more right now as the teams battle down the stretch. We see the Rams are battling down the stretch. We have the Falcons, who we see. You had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You had the Seattle Seahawks, who just won on Thursday. So there are a lot of teams doing everything they can do to battle back in. You're talking about even to the point where Minnesota has now found a way to battle themselves back into possibly getting the #1 overall seed. So that is a huge game, and so that means that the final game between Minnesota and Detroit might be a bigger game for the #1 seed. So that is going to be something huge and big. But right now, we need to focus on the fact that that Washington has to get past Atlanta. This is not a game to sleep on. And I know some people are set up there and they're like, well, Micheal Penix just got in and all that. I told y'all in my season prediction show, this was going to be key because, again, the issue I had was that if Kirk was starting, we were going to win. If Penix came in and was playing before our game, we might be in trouble. And we have to avoid the bombardment. If we don't find a way to avoid Micheal Penix looking like the newest version of Dan Marino, we're going to be in serious trouble because this is not a game to sleep on when it comes to everybody knows the offense, right? We know a lot of the offensive players and everything like that, but there's a danger to all of them. You know, with Micheal Penix in the game now, we're talking about we may see Drake London convert into Mike Evans. That's how good Micheal Penix is when it comes to throwing the ball and his accuracy with the ball. Now, I will say this, Atlanta should have moved to Penix a lot earlier, and we might be catching them right at the best time and moment. But we're also talking about Penix has gotten a full week of work with the starters. He knows what the running backs like doing. He knows what Bijan Robinson likes the ball when he throws it to him and stuff like that. Not only that, Bijan Robinson isn't the only threat at running back. Tyler Algier is just as dangerous when it comes to running the ball and catching out of the backfield. So they have what we would consider almost two versions of Austin Eckler in their backfield. You know, both of these guys can be a real threat, not only running the ball, but also in the passing game. And it could be a huge problem for us. Darnell Mooney, we remember Darnell Mooney. We remember how Darnell Mooney basically was the one who pretty much solidified the Chicago win against us last year. And I'm telling y'all, this is not a game to play around in. This is not a game to sleep on. They also have a very solid offensive line. On that offensive line, I think they have Chris Lindstrom. I think Lindstrom is on that line. You got Matthew Bergeron, which was a guy that I wanted here in in Washington, and they have a few other guys that are actually very exceptional when it comes to blocking in the run game and also in the passing game. But even with that, a lot of people are down on Atlanta's defense. Now, here's the thing about Atlanta's defense. Atlanta's defense, you might look across there and be like, on paper, they don't look as strong. But I will say this. They have one of the biggest X factors when it comes to their defense. And that guy is Jessie Bates III. Jessie Bates III is one of those guys that has, in his entirety of his career, he's never been really viewed as one of the top safeties in the league, even though his play has always shown that. I mean, this guy is like sneaky when it comes to coverage and things like that. He's a guy that if you don't pay close attention to him, he covers a lot of ground in a short amount of time. If you don't pay close attention to him, he will pick the ball off, and he's known for taking them back for touchdowns. He's known for pick sixes. So a lot of people have not paid attention to him. A.J. Terrell is another one that is very adaptable when it comes to defending guys. They also have, I think Mike Hughes is still there. I don't know. He might be injured because I think he got injured early in the season. So I don't know if he's still playing with them, but A.J. Terrell, and then, like I said, you got Mike Hughes playing the opposite side. That's a very formidable group, but I think Terry can become the ultimate weapon in this game, especially against that secondary. This might be the game where Terry might have to play the role of like a decoy. And the reason why is because you want to get Jessie Bates out of the game. And the best way to do that is to have Terry basically pick on one of the cornerbacks and like find a way to really, really get Terry the ball, move Terry around, and then watch as the center of the field opens up. And not only that, force Jessie Bates to play more in coverage than he likes. Another thing about Jessie Bates that makes him very dangerous is that people don't realize how fast he is until he breaks on the ball. And that is one of his, he's very, like, a lot of people don't want to consider him elite, but he's very elite. Like, he watches a lot of film. And if you throw a pass out there fast and he knows what the play is, he's going to pick it off. Like I said, he's a very dangerous player when it comes to the secondary, and he can make plays. He makes a lot of plays. So, again, this is a guy that you have to desperately be concerned about when it comes down to it. When it comes to Washington, there are a lot of things we have to do. Defensively, you might have to try your best to mimic what Michigan did to Micheal Penix in the national title game. See how much pressure you can get on him. See if you can stop these running backs. Because remember, in the national title game, if it wasn't for Micheal Penix running back getting hurt, that game is completely different. He got hurt, and next thing you know, they couldn't run the ball. Micheal Penix did also miss a lot of deep passes that the wide receivers just didn't get enough. They either dropped it or their hands it was too far out for them. But you're going to have to get pressure on Micheal Penix. That doesn't mean he still can't burn you, because he can bombard you very well. Not only that, he's great at anticipation. Like, one thing about Micheal Penix that I think and if y'all remember when I was talking about him during the draft season, I told y'all his ability to anticipate where a receiver is supposed to go or what a receiver is supposed to do and get the ball there as soon as the receiver gets there, it's absolutely incredible. And we saw some of that in the Giants game. I understand that people are like, oh, it was the Giants. Yeah, but y'all don't understand Micheal Penix's ability. And this guy is a very dangerous guy. Like I said, he's known for bombarding teams. He will sit up there and will throw bombs and will make you and will bring his team back in the game. He's also known for bringing the teams back in fourth quarters because he's done it a long time. Now again, albeit it was in college, but his game translates very well to this current NFL. And the system that he's running in, it seems like he's adapted to it very well. And again, you saw the interception that happened. It wasn't his fault. So, like I said, Micheal Penix is a very dangerous guy. We got to find a way to avoid him bombarding us and him taking advantage of us. We might be without Marshon Lattimore, which is not great because, like I told y'all, teams have been finding Benjamin St-Juste. And if he hasn't changed his number for this week, we could be in some serious trouble because a lot of y'all don't remember St-Juste was actually on Darnell Mooney when we lost to Chicago the last time. Darnell Mooney actually sat up there and was abusing him. So it's not a thing where we wouldn't see these type of dirty antics when it comes to Benjamin St-Juste being abused in the passing game. So there has to be a way to find a way to get Benjamin St-Juste some help. I think Quan Martin is going to have to cheat to whatever side Benjamin St-Juste is. Sandra Steele has been playing very well, which means that more than likely Sandra Steele will probably, I mean, you want St-Juste's size on Drake London, but Sandra Steele's ability might be better for Drake London because he's more aggressive than St-Juste. St-Juste does not, to me, St-Juste doesn't jam anybody at the line. He doesn't try his best to stop or impede the receiver's ability to get open. He just plays off. And it's one of those things where it's hard to rely on him. Now, hopefully Marshon Lattimore can play, but it doesn't look likely that he will. And with that, this is a game that is going to count a lot of stuff. We cannot lose. I told y'all when we came out the bye, we cannot lose any of these 4 games. We have to win them all because there is no way to sit up there and beat this team or there's no way to make the playoffs if you don't beat Atlanta. Atlanta can be a problem. The benefit that we have is that Atlanta's fan base doesn't travel that well. So we have that in our back pocket. It will be kind of chilly out there. Not only that, you're talking about them playing in dome stadiums. Atlanta being in a dome stadium. Micheal Penix played outside, but he didn't play in he didn't play in the weather that he's about to see right now. So this is going to be the game that counts a lot. We lose this game, we're out of the playoffs. And I know people may be like, John, no. We lose this game, we're out of the playoffs. Because everybody is jockeying right now. And, like I said, with Seattle winning, there's a lot of stuff that needs to happen. Again, and we can't depend on anybody's help. We can't depend on Green Bay possibly losing to Minnesota. We can't depend on Minnesota moving up. We can't depend on the Rams losing. We can't depend on Tampa Bay losing. We can't depend on anybody else but ourselves. And if we don't sit up there and we don't take care of business against Atlanta, we will not be making the playoffs. That doesn't mean that we had a disappointing season. That just means we didn't do everything we could to win the game to make the playoffs. So it would be sad to see a season with such promise die out at the end, being as though they lost the game that they should have won. So we'll definitely see what happens. Jaden, this will probably be a game where we might actually see Jaden Daniels and Micheal Penix in a shootout, which would be an absolute amazement to see 2 rookie quarterbacks go touchdown for touchdown in the game. And we saw that before with Micheal Penix, where we saw him go touchdown for touchdown against Caleb Williams. And this can happen in this game. This can be a Jaden Daniels, Micheal Penix touchdown for touchdown game. We just got to make sure that at the end of the game, we're the ones on top and that we're the ones who make the impact. Again, not an easy game. Like I said, they have to make sure they take Jesse Bates out of this game. If Jesse Bates is in any way, shape, or form in this game and affects the game in any way, we're going to have a problem. We are going to have a problem. Terry's going to have to basically force Jesse Bates to double cover him. And this is going to be something big. So y'all tell me what y'all think. How do y'all feel? Do y'all feel that we need this game? Or do y'all feel that some of y'all may feel that it's okay to lose? I feel we cannot lose anything. There's too many teams on our heels. Too many teams out there that can still make the playoffs and that can boot us out because they won. So y'all tell me how y'all feel. Other than that, this has been your man John Fortune, and this has been the Frustrated Fan Sports Show.